at 3:30 now.
Yo, what up? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy D. Anthony, aka Mr. Drip Sinatra. Monday Madness, and y'all know what it is, man. It's a beautiful Monday, though. I just got through eating, had my lunch, had me some KFC, some wings, and some fries, and I was good, man. So we rocking a little KFC right here. So listen, guys, as you guys see in the topic, it says Drew Estate Brand Guide, the Deadwood Tobacco. What we're going to do, guys, is just kind of give you some insight on just a quick glimpse on what's popping with and how things kind of jumped off for Drew Estate with Sister Von Boyd and how that whole thing kind of came together. So before we even just go all off into that, let me just say that a lot of people have the misconception of how things came together with the Deadwood brand and Drew Estate. And if you guys are familiar with Sturgis, it's a motorcycle event that they used to have. I don't know if they still have it or not, but nonetheless, look, let me just do this. Let me let you guys just check out what it is and how it works right here. All right, let's get it.
Hey guys, Dirty Fabian right outside La Gran Fabrica next to Sweet Jane. That's right, Sweet Jane is one of our most popular lines these days. But let me go back a little bit and tell you a little bit about the story of Sweet Jane. In 2007, I was in the living room of Von Boyd in Deadwood, South Dakota, and we had an idea. And the idea was to make a cigar for Deadwood Tobacco for a small little gathering called Sturgis Bike Rally. And after making a couple hundred boxes in 2008, we sold out in a few days. We made more and more and more, all the way up until last year when Sweet Jane and her sisters, Fat Bottom Betty and Crazy Alice, were launched all over the US and in fact all over the world. It is a very smooth, sweet cigar, which you get some hints of coffee, hints of cocoa. One of my favorite cigars for sure. This is a very hard cigar to find these days. We're making them, we're selling them, and some of us are smoking more than others. But get your hands on them, and I hope you enjoy them just as much as I do and my 10,000 biker fans, because Sweet Jane is quickly becoming the unofficial.
All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Now, listen, that was just a short, synopsis of how the Deadwood thing jumped off. For those that don't know, Von Boyd is the trademark holder and the brains or mother of the Deadwood line. And I got to know her a couple of months ago, probably about 5 months ago. And she's an awesome person. I mean, she was somebody that was very supportive in me recreating the look of the Deadwood Chicks. And she actually has some of my stuff on her page. If you go to Vaughn Boyd's Facebook page, you'll see the banner that I did called the Manhattan. You'll see the Yummy Chicks. You'll see several pieces that we did for her. We did a couple of custom pieces for her as well. But nonetheless, that whole thing with Drew Estate is a very interesting story. A lot of people don't know. And so it's one of those things where we thought we'd come on. Because, we don't never just talk about any particular house per se. But I wanted to talk about Drew Estate and the Deadwood products, because a lot of people have the misconception that the tobacco, or that the Deadwood cigars are infused or flavored, and they are not. They have sweet tips, but they are not flavored or infused cigars. They actually use pipe tobacco to actually make the cigars for the Deadwood products. So with that being said, that's the part that you didn't know, and a lot of people do stay away from it because they think that they're all infused. Now, next, what we're going to hear from is we're going to hear about the Leather Rose, and this is basically a review on the Leather Rose. All right, so check this out. Tell me what you think.
Hey guys, this is Joe with Cigar.
Hang on one second, guys.
Now, tonight we're going to take a look at Drew Estate's newest and fourth addition to the Deadwood tobacco line with their Leather Rose. Now, my understanding is this is supposed to be a spicier stick than the previous three, so definitely looking forward to smoking this one tonight. So stick around, guys. Reviews coming up. If you're new to this channel, enjoy cigar reviews and cigar-related artwork, consider clicking that subscribe button. This is the fourth cigar in Drew Estate's Deadwood lineup. This is the spiciest out of the four, but it's not the design of the cigar that grabs your attention. As soon as you take it out of the cellophane, it's the aromas. When you smell the foot of the cigar, or near the foot, the aromas that are put off are very rich, very clean pipe tobacco. It's got a beautiful smell to it. Now, near the head, those aromas shift more to like a sweet cocoa, a sweet chocolate. Very unique smells on this. Now, the cigar consists of a Brazilian Maduro wrapper. That wrapper has dark brown color to it. It's very oily. The only imperfection that really stands out is that the torpedo head on my reviewed stick is a little crooked. And the artwork on the band really falls suits with the previous three cigars in this lineup. It has kind of that gothic design and feel. The black ribbon at the foot just sets the whole ensemble off. But on that note, guys, let's cut it up, light it up, and see how good the cigar really is. All right, this is definitely a very sweet cigar. It's probably one of the sweeter tastes that I've had out of the Drew Estate lineup. I mean, it definitely has this sugar rush type flavor to it. Those flavors do just saturate your lips. It's definitely something that kind of takes you back a little bit. However, once you light the cigar, it seems like those sweet notes do dissipate a little bit. They're not as potent, but I do pick up this sweetness as I'm drawing in the smoke. And I don't know if that's because of the tobacco itself that I'm picking up those flavors, or it's just because of that sweet texture that's on my lips that I'm picking up. But there are some interesting flavors. I did pick up like a cocoa and a chocolate. I did pick up a rich tobacco. So I think it does have some good flavors. And for me, the other Deadwood cigars, those seem to, as I smoke through it, the sweetness dropped off and they become more like a traditional cigar. I suspect this one will do the same, but yeah, right from the beginning, it definitely tastes like an infused cigar. I don't believe these are infused, though. I think they are pipe tobacco or something else. All right, guys, so true to form, this one puts out a ton of smoke like the other Drew Estate cigars. I mean, it just smokes like a chimney. It's amazing how much smoke these guys actually put off. Flavor-wise, I'm really not too sure about this one. It definitely has what I could consider an artificial taste to it. It has some very unique spice flavors. Parts of them are good. I mean, I really can't put my finger on exactly what they are. The only thing that takes me back is there's like this aftertaste in it. That's what comes off artificial to me. There are a little bit of sour notes in the cigar as well. I'm not quite on board with this one yet, but the construction's really not bad. The draw is a tad bit looser than I like. It's not so loose that it comes off airy. It's just slightly loose for me. The burn on this is pretty crooked, so I'm going to touch up the burn here in a minute. However, that ash is just solid. I think construction's pretty good. Flavor-wise, I'm hoping to see some changes, so I'll keep working on it and see how it progresses over the next two sections and come back with another update shortly. All right, guys, this was definitely a much different cigar in that second third. I feel like I'm smoking a completely different stick. In that draw, I started off with like a light wood. That light wood seems to be the dominant taste that I get out of the stick. However, I also started picking up a light leather. Those sweet notes that were on that wrapper, those have dropped off. Those artificial aftertastes that I described in the first third, those completely dropped off. Those sour notes also dropped off. So I think overall the draw for me was complete 180. It was a much better, enjoyable cigar. That retrohale for me, I get now why they call it a spicy stick. It definitely had a very spicy bite to it. Again, those spicy notes, they're unique. I cannot put my finger on them. They're not like a traditional spice. There's something unique about them. It's almost like it's herbal, but very good flavors in it. Very spicy punch to it. It does nibble at your sinuses, and even as I'm speaking now, I can feel like a sensation on the back of my throat. And I think overall, the cigar definitely changed my opinion on it. I mean, at first I thought it was okay. Now I think it's starting to turn out to be a pretty good cigar. All right, guys, I nubbed this one out, and I have to say that final third is definitely a very spicy stick. It still has those very unique spice flavors, kind of like an herbal type spice, but boy, does it have a kick to it. It definitely attacks your sinuses. It just kind of camps out back there. You definitely feel the effects of this cigar. As far as the draw goes, for me, the draw was mainly like a woodsy flavor. It still had that unique spice flavor in it as well. But for the most part, the main flavor that I gravitated towards when I was thinking about the flavors in the cigar was wood. So it definitely has a nice woodsy taste to it. The spice notes, as I said before, they're very unique. They got kind of that herbal-esque type spice to it. Overall, it was definitely a very enjoyable stick. It really turned around from that first third, because for me, that first third, I was just kind of taken out of the cigar. It just seemed so artificial. Although the spice notes were so unique, it's not anything that I've experienced before. It definitely tasted more like a traditional stick. Ended up really enjoying this one. Now, I ended up scoring this cigar an 82 out of 100. For me, the flavors, the first third threw me back a little bit, but the second third really redeemed itself. The final third was good. Ended up giving 18 out of 24 potential points there. Now, as far as the price goes, I saw the cigar listed for a little over $8 online. I think that's a very fair price on it, so I gave it 4 out of 4 points there. Smoking characteristics, for me, that smoke output is what really shines on the stick. Now, the draw did start off a little loose in that first third. It did tighten up and become that perfect draw in the last two sections. So for me, overall, as far as construction goes, I give it 18 out of 21 points. And with an 82 score, I think this is a very good cigar. Definitely one I would recommend trying. Now, if you're a fan of the Deadwood line, definitely give this one a try. If you've had this cigar before, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And I'll see you guys on the next review.
That's what I'm talking about right there. I mean, Leather Rose, I had it last night with a glass of the 19 Crimes Cali Red, and it was really nice. Now, I didn't necessarily get the spiciness on the back end of the particular of the Leather Rose at all. I mean, I think that the flavor profile of the Leather Rose just kind of plays into the person that's actually smoking it. I mean, he might have been dealing with some sinus issues as well. I don't know, but nonetheless, it's one of those things where depending on I guess your sinuses and I guess the humidity in the area that you're smoking is whether or not you're going to get that. Now, I will say this: the Leather Rose is considered. It has a Maduro wrapper, and they consider it the mother and the newest member of the Yummy Sisters. I mean, I think she came in and kind of bum rushed the industry with a lot of I guess interesting qualities about it, from the flavor profiles, the packaging, the presentation. She is truly the mother of that gang. And, for a long time, I only smoked that Leather Rose out of all of them. But I came in smoking the Sweet Jane, and then I learned about Fat Bottom Betty, and it just came full circle all the way back around to from Leather Rose. I smoked it so much, I just kind of got burnt out on it, And the only complaint I can see with this cigar, in fact, is the fact that in a lot of cities, they can't get their hands on it. The moment I see it, I grab it. If it's something that I don't have in my humidor, I like to have at least 1 or 2 in my humidor at all times, even though I may not smoke it as often as a lot of people may. It's one of those things where, I'll smoke it enough to just enjoy it and say that I actually have it. So other than that, that's pretty much it, man. So if you guys are a Drew Estate fan, just know that that particular cigar, Leather Rose, is not a traditional infused or sweetened or flavored cigar. That cigar is actually made from a pipe tobacco. And that's where you get the nice aromatic aspect of it. And but it does have a sweet tip. So just keep that in mind as well. So with that being said, that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to bring that to you guys and see what you guys thought about it. And gonna go from there. Again, I'm your boy D. Anthony. We're gonna go. All right. Peace.